All right, thank you so much. Thank you. Please, let's sit down. Thank you. Thank you. All right, so we'll do one more clapping. And I think everyone should be standing, except the person we're clapping for. Can we just stand and clap for my mentor, Mr. Elisha Mamman? Can we do that? All right, thank you. Thank you. Now let's sit down. Good morning, everybody. It's a huge privilege to be here, to have this session. Thank you so much, sir. I'll tell you why I told you to clap for him. I'll tell you why. You know, in 2016, 2016 was the year that I finished my university education in the University of Ilorin. I finished with a second-class upper from the Department of Physiology. Some people don't know I'm a physiologist. I'm a medical physiologist. Don't mind my tech, everything. But I'm a physiologist, right? And I remember a particular call that came. And the call was, "Oh, Fee, have you checked where they posted you to? Have you checked your own NYC posting yet?" I was like, "Oh, no, I've not." And I brought out my laptop. And I imputed my number, clicked on enter. I saw Kaduna State. I logged out and logged in again because I did not understand. I had chosen Abuja, I had chosen Lagos, I had chosen Akwa Ibom, and just to complete the options so that it's not. Just to give you context, I'm from River State. I schooled in Ilorin. I never saw myself going towards the north at all. So to complete the options, I just choose Kaduna just to complete it. So I had to log out again. Something must be wrong. Where's my village people coming from? I had to know what was happening. So I logged out. I logged in again. I clicked on enter, and I saw Kaduna. Then I told my parents, and you know what happened? We had to get a way that I'll be relocated because there's no way I'm staying in. See, the way Northern Nigeria is portrayed on the news as at that time, 2016, ending of 2016, around November, December 2016, I thought that when I'm coming to Kaduna, I'll just be seeing houses burning, this, that. Because that was when Boko Haram was at its peak. Every day, bomb blast here, bomb blast there, this and that. It was so much. So there is no loving parent that will want his child to be in the north at that time. Nobody. And my parents are loving parents. Please, let's clap for them. They're not watching live, but let's just clap for them. So we had every plan. I was going to relocate. There's no way. But I came to Kaduna State. I remember that day. I used the night bus. Experience for another day. So I used a night bus from River State to Kaduna. And when they dropped me, I was still asking, "Are you sure we've gotten to Kaduna State?" Because the place was looking okay. There was no burnt house. There was no. So what's happening? My idea was changing. Do not let your only reality be from the things you have been told or shown. There's some things that have been told, you've been told by several people, by the media, by the things you can see around you. There are some conceptions that have been born inside of you already about a thing that may not be real. So I got to Kaduna and I saw the place. I got to camp, we did our 3 weeks, and even though I had a letter that is supposed to make me relocate, I did not relocate. That was a huge blessing for me. And then one day I was invited to a program, The Winning Mindset. 2017, a year later, I was still serving. After being rejected from like 3 PPAs in Kaduna, several, I'll not call their names, they rejected me. Big places. And I got to a place I was going to teach. And I was invited to The Winning Mindset. I came that day and I listened to my mentor speak. At that time, it was not my mentor. At that time, I was even hesitant to come and listen. And it's something that's happening to a lot of people because I was at that point when I loved watching videos on YouTube already, right? To a large extent. So I'm like, why should I just come and sit down and look at someone, talk for some hours? Who is the person? Who is even that person? And I got there and I was wowed. And the typical thing is most times when you're wowed by something, you will seek the thing that you're wowed by instead of the thing that produced what you are wowed by. So I remember going to his house and I told him, I said, "Sir, please teach me how to speak like you." Because the way he spoke, we stayed there for 6 to 7 to, and you know, when he says 3 o'clock, people that know him, 3 o'clock is not 3, we are going to end by 4, 5, 6. And you will be there, you want to stay longer. And I was like, what is this? I've not seen it. Oh, I used to be tired already. How is this person able to speak this way? And I met him in his house that day with some other corpers. And I told him, "Sir, please teach me how to speak the way you speak." And he said something that changed my life. He said that Fee, I will not teach you how to speak. I will teach you how to live. And then you will speak from your life. I will teach you how to live. And you will speak from your life. So sometimes when you see something that wows you, you want to seek that thing you've seen that excites you, that makes you impressed. You want to seek that thing instead of the thing that produced that thing. And he saved me from that. He said he's going to teach me how to live, and I will speak from my life. This is 2021, and I can say boldly that he has done that. I'm standing here now, and I am speaking 4 years later from my life. Thank you so much, sir. So today, we have a topic that is something that it's something I wish for every single person. I wish it for myself too. I'm in that process, and several other people can be in that process too. You know why? Winning is progressive. Winning is progressive. Any winning that is not progressive will become a loss at a point. The winning life. How do you get to that point where you are living a life that wins? You are being profitable in the business of life. How can you get to that point? How can you get to a point where the things that surround you, although they may not be so palatable at this time, you know that the process that you're in is a process that can take you to a place of winning? How can I get to that point where even if you're seated here, you know you came here because you're at a point of confusion in your life. You know that you're listening online for those that are live because you just want to know, how can I get to a point where it seems nothing is working? They told you this was working. The day you joined, that was the day it crashed. The day you decided to go for this skill, that's the day it stopped being valuable. The day you wanted to do this, that's the day everything seems not to be working. Everything. And you saw that topic, the winning life, and you got to that point where you decided that, oh, how can I come here and get that thing that helps me win? This is what we are talking about today. This is exactly what we are talking about today. I think the first point I will start with, just so that we can make progress, okay? The first point I will start with is this. The decisions you make today are not for today. The decisions that you make today are not for today. There's practically no decision that you make today that has an ability to affect just your today. None of them. So any decision you make, as I'm speaking, some of you will be making decisions on your own. As I'm speaking, some of you will be on your own deciding things for your life. Because no matter how well I speak, no matter what I say, it is not the words that I speak that has the inherent ability to completely change your life. It can sow a seed. It can sow a seed in your heart. It can, give you something to hold on to. It can give you a template. But sincerely, the only thing that can change your life are the decisions you make while the speaking is going on. So if it's possible, you can even have a page where you put title decisions. So as I'm speaking, you are deciding things. I will start this. I will stop this. I will continue this. I will intensify this. You're talking to yourself. You're not saying, you're not writing deep quotes. No. You are making decisions for yourself. So after now, you're able to sit down. You're able to go through that material that you directed yourself to write. and you're able to work on those decisions and look at the result over a period of time. The decisions you make today are not for today. They are not for today. And the first decision I'll be talking about, and the first decision I want every single person here to make, is one that I have decided to make with my life. And it's a decision I want every single person here to make. Is, if we can get this, there are several things that will automatically be solved. Several things. Now, I want everyone to make a decision to live a life of unapologetic excellence. A life of unapologetic excellence. Your life is at a point where there is excellence oozing out of you. The things you do, the way you do the things you do, everything around you has something that has to do with excellence. Everything. The communities you're a part of, the people you relate with, there is excellence. It's something that you are able to exhibit at every single opportunity. And the first thing that is important for you to know is that excellence is a mindset. Sincerely, sometimes you try to live out excellence, but it's difficult because it has not yet become something that is a mindset for you. Excellence is a mindset. Very important. Excellence is a mindset. It's something that has already been ingrained inside of you. It's something you're able to live out because you have a template for it. Excellence. You're able to be excellent at every opportunity. Excellence is first a mindset. Excellence doesn't have anything to do with, emotions here and there. I felt this way. Sometimes I say some things to people that are very close to me, and maybe I'll just share it here. You don't have to take it too hard, but I'll just share it here. I tell people that are very close to me that there are some things that are useless emotions. I'm very careful when I say things like this because we're at a time when, there are several things about emotions, several things like that, right? But we have to be aware. Emotions are first for you to be aware of them and for them to guide your next decision to a large extent. I give an example. If there is anything that I cannot stand up and speak to my son or my daughter years from now as the reason why they are the way they are, I try my best to discard it as fast as possible. When my son is asking me, so why is it that we're in this position in life? Why is it that we have this particular result in life? In quotes. When, they don't ask you directly. It doesn't have to be direct. So when they're asking you that, will you not say it was because there was a day I felt bad? There was a day someone shouted at me. It would have been better. My network was bad. My internet was not good. I did not have data. Can you tell your child that? As a young person here, can you tell your child that the reason why you did not take advantage of your formative years, of your years of strength, of vigor, was because your data got exhausted? Was because you couldn't stay up at night, you were tired? Those things are valid, but they are not things that you may be able to explain in full to the people that are coming after you. You are not living your life for just yourself. You have to know this. So you have that mindset. That mindset sponsors the way you do the things you do. So excellence is first a mindset. Now, the second thing is excellence is a journey. There's a journey called the journey of excellence. Secondly, excellence is a journey. And then the last point is that excellence is a compound effect. What that means is, if you're excellent in one aspect of your life and you refuse to do everything possible to be excellent in another, you will continually get dragged down to the level of that place that you refuse to invest in. Excellence is a compound effect. It has to do with several things. There's no one thing that is able to, life what it should be. Every life you see that you admire, every life you see that is moving forward, every life you see that is commanding certain level of results, any life like that is a life that has been able to bring together factors, that has been able to bring together the several things necessary to produce that result that you admire. It's not just one thing. So if you're excellent in one aspect of your life, you have to think, what are the aspects, what are the things that I need to add in these other places so that I can have the compound effect of excellence? So I can have the compound effect, the thing that makes everything work for me. There are decisions for you to make. And there may not be things that you are doing already, but there are things that even from this session, you can start deciding to do. So when you have a life of excellence, what are the things, what are some factors that you need to put together? Now, these factors I'm about to tell you are, factors, are things that I myself was taught. I have lived, and has really helped me grow. Because I was thinking, what are the things that I have really looked at that has helped me in my journey? What are the things that if I can commit, can also help people here to move forward and have a life that wins? And those are the things I'll be sharing with you in the next few minutes before I go and have my seat. So we'll start it off very quickly. Now, there's something that people do. There's something that sometimes we do that affects the way we move in life. There are some things we do that helps us cooperate with delay. There's what is called cooperation with delay. You are cooperating with delay. There's a way you do that. I'll tell you some of them, but then I'll go into the things I've learned very quickly. One of the things that make people stay at a particular point for too long is blindness from the future. It is almost impossible for you to go far fast if you don't know where you're going to. If you are blind from the possibilities of your own future, it will be difficult for you to make decisions in the present. So if you're here right now and till now you still don't have an idea, see, these things can change over time, but you should have an idea of exactly who you want to become, exactly what you want to do, exactly the kind of things you want to have. If you don't have that sight of the future, you will be so delayed. There's what I call relative speed. Okay? Relative speed. My friend is here, Abraham. He came in from Abuja for this event. Please, can we clap for him, please? Friends in front here. There's what is called relative speed. Relative speed starts from the destination. If I and Abraham are going out from Kaduna State, for example, both of us are going from Kaduna. He's based in Abuja, I'm based in River State. If both of us are going out from Kaduna, but from Kaduna, Abraham is going to Abuja, and I am going to River State. If both of us start our car, the same type of car, both of us start that car, and both of us start driving at 120 kilometers per hour. The speed is the same, right? We are both driving at 120. But do you know that he's faster than me? Are you following me? We are both in Kaduna right now. Abuja is here. River State is far. We both have the same type of car. We are both driving at 120 kilometers per hour. Because of destination, he is faster than me. So, see, you cannot be moving at the same speed with people around you if you are not aware of where they are going. The day I discovered this, I stopped being so hard on people. Because truly, it is where you're going that sponsors everything you do in the present. If I'm not able to sleep at night, if I'm up late, if I'm doing so much and if he's overdoing it, it's always this, always that, it's not an issue. It is where I'm going. And it is the resources available to me. Why? Someone else can be in Kaduna and take flight. Yes. And the person will be faster than both of us. So when you find out that you don't have the resources for a flight, mentorship is a flight. Relationships are flight systems. There are some people that if you know them, the CVs you've written left and right, they will give you a job like this. But you know you don't have those people. And you are working in the same rates with someone that does. Advantages around you. You know you were not born with the privileges that will help you to get to your destination fast. And you are relaxing. You are having time to, gist about things that do not matter with the people that have those resources. Blindness from the future. When you're blind from where you're going, you are unable to live a life that wins, because winning is something that becomes a habit. Winning is those steps you're taking towards the place you're going. How are you doing it? There's a decision you must make. Where am I going? What do I need to do? If you make this decision, there are some things that will be easy for you to do. To put in the hours will be easier. To do the work will be easier. To not allow excuses. These things are valid. Listen to me. If you are within Nigeria, right? And you want excuses, there are many. Trust me. There are many. Imagine there was a time, myself and a friend of mine, Peter Bassi, some of you know him, we'll carry our bags. Those bags, if you see our bag then, you know these bags that is brown in color, that most times it's army people that used to carry. Very big bag like this. We used to have those bags, both of us. In that bag, there's everything you want. Extension, screwdriver, anything. And at the point, my light spoiled in my house. So when he's in town, both of us will go with our bags. We'll go to a restaurant. Am I saying a restaurant? We'll go to ostrich. See ostrich here. So it's more relatable. In Kaduna, ostrich. Maybe if I go there, they won't remember me. We'll go there, and just so that they'll not look at us with that bad eye, we'll buy water. And we sit down. Why? Because we need to charge. We can't stay at home and say, these NEPA people, this, that, Nigeria, this country, look at Ghana, look at this, look at that. And we'll just sit down. Are we moving? No. Almost every day for about a month or more. We'll go there, we'll sit down. Why? Because we are trying to charge and work. To a time that data was very much expensive. People that are complaining of data now, there's a time data was more expensive than this. It has gotten cheaper. What did I do? I was using night plans. Sadiq is here. I and Sadiq were housemates for a while. He knows about this. I will do night plans, night subscriptions. I'll be up in the night because I need to watch YouTube videos to improve my skill. And then people are sleeping. I know where I'm going is far. I can't say I don't have money for... Why not growing? Why not progressing? Data is expensive. I don't have money for data. Is it a true excuse? Yes. Do you have money for data? No, you don't. True of us. You don't have money for data, right? So what are you doing about it? Never stop at the problem. Never stop a statement at the problem. Never. Once you've identified the limitations you have, your limitation, and so that's how you should continue it. This is the problem. I do not have this. And because I do not have this, I am going to do this. Are you following? Never stop at the problem. Never say, I don't have this, full stop. Never. I do not have money, full stop. I don't have this, full stop. Do not ever stop at the problem. Stopping at the problem is you cooperating with delay. Delay is very accommodating until it's too late. You will just stay in that realm where you are stagnant. But that will not be what happens for those of you here. It cannot be. Because I know some of you are making that decision right now. That those things that were once limitations, you will not stop at them anymore. You look for ways that you can, make decisions that can move you to a place of solution. Why? Because there is always a solution. It may not be easy. I kid you not. There are some solutions that may be hard. Some solutions will require you to put away shame. Put away your shyness. I'm shy. What has your shyness helped you with? Some solutions will make you to put away those things. Why? Because you need to get to a place of abundance, not just for you, but for the people that are coming after you. Occlusion from the future, blindness from the future. So yeah, let me just go ahead and tell you these things. My time is almost up already. The things that I learned, most of the things I'm about to tell you, I learned it from my mentor, Mr. Elisha Mamman. And I will tell you these things, and it is my sincere desire that just the way I took it from him and practice it in my life, some of you will be making those decisions to take it from me and also practice it in your life. And by God's grace, one day I will sit down and also watch you on this stage, speaking the things that your life was able to create. That will happen. It will happen. Number one, if you're writing, you can write. Number one, character. Character. Number one, character. Character. There's something that we have as a very big principle in the winning mindset. And it's the fact that your behavior influences your results. The way you behave is what influences the results that you have. So if you want to have a result called financial abundance, for example, one of the behaviors that sponsors financial abundance is saving. I know people still have a lot of mindset about saving, and that's fine. But I have seen over time, both from several principles, from sources that are solid, that if you want to get to a place of financial abundance, saving is a system. It has worked in my life. So saving is a behavior that brings a result of financial abundance. Your behavior, the things you do, the way you do the things you do, your character is a pillar. I'll call them pillars of a winning life. Your character is a pillar of a winning life, a life that is profitable. It is almost impossible to get to a place of sustainable profit in the business of life if you're a person without character. Character is something that can be worked on. You can identify the things that people are always complaining about. Never say this is the way you are. And it's something that happens a lot because do you know that we have words to explain almost every condition you have? Yes. Why are you flaring up every time? It's because I'm choleric now. I'm choleric. Have you heard all those things? Anything that you have, you are exhibiting as a behavior, as your character. If you want to look for an explanation for it, you will find it. There's a word that makes you comfortable in that deficiency. But never again. You shouldn't see things that are bad and explain it away. Using this is my what do they call it? I'm a phlegmatic, I'm a this, I'm a that. You know this thing is hurting you. You know it's affecting your chances at life. You know it's making you lose in the business of life. But you're using words that sound fancy to explain it away. No. Figure out the things that you need to change. Figure out the things that has to change in your life and work on your character. Don't say this is how I am. No, it's not. Who made you that way? It should not be. Your character, it's a pillar for winning in life. It's a pillar for winning in life. Decisions, part of your book, you can be making decisions right now. You know those things. If you are sincere with self-sincerity is very important. If you are not sincere with yourself, nothing will change for you. There's some things I am sincere with, I know I need to work on. I am working on them actively. If you are not sincere with yourself, nothing will change for you. So if you're sincere, you know the things that you can start working on from now, from today. You can write them down. I'll work on this. I'll work on the way I talk to people. I'll work on the way I act. I'll work on the way I do this. I'll work on the way I do that. You can make those decisions from today and work on them. So your character is the first pillar. The first pillar. One of the things that, the end point of character is mindset. Your character has an end point called mindset. Your mindset is like a template, the way you act. For example, I have a mindset I call learning without permission. How many of you have heard me say that before? Learning without permission. Have you heard me say it before? Those of you that know me closely must have heard me say it at a point. I have a mindset called learning without permission. I'll explain it very quickly. Learning without permission is your ability to learn beyond what any one person can teach you. There's some of you that you will say, I want to learn graphic design. But the reason why I've not learned it is because the person that was supposed to teach me is unavailable. I've been calling him since last month. He's not picking my calls. Why have you not learned web design? This and that. This person, I've been telling him to teach me. He's not even answering me. He's too busy. That's why you're the way you are? No. Learning without permission is the ability to go above and beyond. Don't wait for someone's permission to learn. Don't wait for someone to permit you to become fruitful, to become profitable. Don't wait for anybody. Learning without permission is your ability to go above and beyond everything that one person can teach you. So when you're being taught, you take everything they taught you, you appreciate them, but do not stop there. Never stop there. Never stop at a place where the people that taught you stopped. The place where they stopped should never be the place where you stopped. As soon as they end, take up those concepts and go ahead and learn more about it, grow more in it, increase yourself worth. That is the mindset. That's a mindset of learning without permission. It's a part of your character. Now, the second pillar for a winning life is competence. You can write that down. Competence is the second pillar for a winning life. If there is nothing you are currently trying to be the best at, you're already failing in life. If there is nothing that you're currently trying to be the best at, nothing. If at this point you're here, you're seated, or you're watching online, and there is nothing you are currently trying to be the best at, you are already losing. You're not winning, you're already losing. Winning is progressive. I told you, it's progressive. It's not like you're the best yet, but you're currently trying to be the best at this thing. If there is nothing like that, you are already losing. At every point in time, your competence becomes a factor for you to win in life. What are you good at? What can you be referred for? Not that people will refer you for something and you go ahead and you just spoil their name. No. What are you known for? What can someone beat his chest and say, for this particular thing, this person can do it. This person can deliver. What are you known for? See, do not just be a part of a community. Don't just exist. What are you trying to be the best at? I have learned a lot of things. I have learned graphic design. I have learned... See, there was a time that I was truly confused. And you know, when people are confused, sometimes what they do is that they don't do anything. I was confused, so I was trying a lot of things. I learned a lot that period. Graphic design, photography, photo editing. If you give me this camera, I'll take very nice pictures right now. Why I learned it. Video creation, video editing, a lot of things. Web design. I learned them within, I think, about a year or a year and a half. And I was good at each. I wasn't learning and just stopped. I was good at each. But the day I made the decision to focus on digital marketing, I told myself that I must be the absolute best at this. So what did I do? Everything that relates to digital marketing, free or paid, they're already on my timeline. There are some courses I currently have on my to-do list that at the moment I will not be able to afford. Courses of thousands of dollars. But they're there. Why? Because a day will come when I can do it. I can't even start talking about how much I've spent on personal development this year. I can't even go into that. But there was a time that I couldn't even buy data. There was a time I had to do night plans for these things. But because of my commitment for competence, I was able to move this way, step by step. If you can be the best at something, you will not lack so much. Can you hear me? If you can decide to be the best at something, at one thing, you won't lack so much. How do you be the best? There's already learning without permission. That's one step. But there are several other things that have to come together to make you the best. You can go ahead after this session. You can go and look for people that are the best, that are currently the best at the things you want to be the best at. Go and look at what they've done. Go and look at what they have. See the ones that you can do. See the ones that you can have. And proceed. Start from somewhere. But at every point in time, so if someone comes to you and say, what are you currently trying to be at the best at right now? Be able to make a statement. If someone comes to you and asks you, what are you currently trying to be the best at the moment? It can change. I'm currently trying to be the best in digital marketing. I can pivot at any time. 2 years time, I can be a cloud engineer. Why? Because I can learn it. The people that are the best cloud engineers, they learned it. They were not born that way. They learned it. There's nothing. I can pivot at any time. But at the moment, what are you trying to be the best at? And when you answer, don't just answer with your words. Let your actions also answer. You want to be the best at what? For example, let me use myself, digital marketing. I want to be just at digital marketing. If you go through my actions, you will see it. Why am I investing hundreds of pounds into certifications? Why am I investing that? Apparently, I'm one of the only 12 Facebook certified lead trainers in Nigeria. We're just 12. And I'm one of them. How did I get there? In my certification program, I was the only Nigerian. Why? Because I am always searching. What are the best doing? What do they have? Why can't I have these things? Do not let any rhetoric, any statement, any quote that speaks to a lesser version of you, do not accept it. Don't accept that existing is enough. Don't accept. Don't accept that just being alive is enough. Yes, that is true. It is good. But do not stop there. You are not born to just be alive. No. What are the best doing? What are the best doing? What does it take to be the best in that thing? It can be baking, it can be fashion, it can be anything at all. Do I need to have more certifications? Do I have to learn more things? Competence. The end of competence is mastery. The end of character is what? Mindset, right? The end of competence is mastery. Who are the masters in your field? How can you model after them? There are people that I'm constantly following. Constantly. Why? Because I've seen them exhibit mastery. I've seen them good at what they do. And I'm able to celebrate them. I'm able to say, this thing you're doing is good, and I will learn from it. I have those people. I follow them. Those are the people I follow. Very important. There's something that hinders mastery. I just check my time and to see if I'll be able to talk about it. But let me just say it very briefly. There's something that hinders mastery a lot. It's a character default, but it hinders mastery. Okay? The best way I explain it a lot is a story. There's this particular story from the Bible. Please your indulgence. It's the story of Cain and Abel. That they brought a sacrifice, and both of them brought different sacrifices, and one was accepted and the other was not. Do you know that if both their sacrifices were rejected, Cain would not have been angry? Do you know that? If both of them brought sacrifices and the two were rejected, Cain would not have been angry. What would be angry on? But because Abel's one was accepted and Cain's one was not, there was anger. And God said, why are you dejected? Why is your face downcast? If you had done well, would your own not also have been accepted? If you had done well. I'll tell you how this affects mastery. Because you get to a point, sincerely you will, that someone else is moving and it looks like you're not. If both of you, but you find out that both of you are friends, you've been at the same level, both of you were happy at the same level. So then the person starts going forward and you find out that there's a contention coming up in your heart. Why are you angry? When both of you were normal, when both of you were not getting scholarships or not getting anything, you were okay, you were fine. We are gisting well. Now the person is getting on your nuts. Instead of you to ask, how can I do well? How can I do it the way you're doing? Instead of you to learn how to do well, there's a contention rising within you. The spirit of Cain. You are angry. That anger can never take you to a place of mastery. You will never learn. It will that is you cooperating with delay. And you say you're being delayed. No, you're not being delayed. You're cooperating with delay. Are you following? So what do? Celebrate the people that are ahead. Even if they were your friends before. Celebrate the people that are moving forward. Even if you are not moving forward at this time. Celebrate those that are having successes. Even if you are not having it at this time. It takes you closer to mastery. Let me go to the next point. The third point is compassion. You can write that down. Compassion. Everything we're doing is for people. Everything you're doing is for people. Any mastery that takes away the place of people is not mastery. Because there are some people that will tell you how to be a master in sales. But your mastery in sales is you manipulating the emotions of people to give them something that you know will not do the thing that you're telling them it to do. You're using words. They teach you trigger words that can help you sell something you are aware that doesn't provide the solution you say it does. Compassion. If you have compassion, there are some things you cannot do even if it is profitable. If you have compassion for people, there are some businesses, there are some things that you cannot indulge yourself in. Even if you know the margins are wide, you cannot. Come and do this. You say, no, it is good, yes. It will make me money, yes. But that compassion I have, because people, my mentor says, people matter. And that is true. Everything we do are for people. So compassion is a pillar to win. If you keep hurting people in your process, if you keep riding on people to win in life, I can tell you that when you get to the finish line, everything you think you have won will be nothing. People matter. People matter. You must be able to respect them. You must be able to do things that help them become better. And I think I should say something here. See, when they say people matter, right? Don't think of people up there. Don't think of people ahead. I say this a lot. The best way to connect with influencers, the best time to connect with influencers is before they become influencers. Every influencer was once someone's guy. My guy. You know what I was saying? Every influencer. That is the best time. There are some of you that you have friends right now. You know they are supposed to be here. You know you can invite them. You can send them links to things that are profitable for them. But people will sit down and analyze why someone lied with her age in Big Brother Nigeria. You come together and you have a meeting about it. No future plans. How are you being the reason why someone else is rising? Who can tell his story, and that story cannot be complete without your name? You don't have to be big to do that. Messiah was not big when he invited me to the winning mindset. There is no day I will share my winning mindset story that I won't add his name. Why? He's the one that invited me. I was writing on Facebook. I put his name. I put his name like 5, 6, 7 times before, but I will still put it again. Because I met mentorship through him. He was a copper then. Stay in a small room somewhere in Sabo here. And I went to see him and he told me there's a man I have to meet. And I said yes to that invitation, and that is what brought me here. So how can I forget him? Who is that person that his story can be incomplete, will be incomplete without your name? You don't have to be big to do that. Compassion. The people around you, how are you able to make them better? What can you do? What can you give? It doesn't have to be money. How are you able to have those discussions, those conversations that spur them to be better versions of themselves? Don't sit down and discuss excuses. Don't sit down and give yourself statements that talk to your lesser selves. No. Accept it, but move on very fast. It's a trap. Next point. My time is already up. Next point. Consistency. 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 You can never be the best at anything you don't do over and over again. You can never be the best at something that you do not do over and over again. Consistency. I'm saying this point is important because so many people are making decisions today. They are great decisions, but without consistency, those decisions will be an epic fail. Not because they're not good decisions, but because you've not gotten to a point where you can be disciplined enough to stay with that thing consistently. Consistency is important if you want to stay relevant. You can become successful, you can have a flash of success by taking an action. But if you want to be relevant, you must be consistent. An action can give you a result. Actions bring results. If you take actions, you will get results. But if you want to be relevant for a period of time, you must be consistent. You can't do something once and stay relevant. No. There is nothing that happens once that is capable of keeping you relevant. No. Nothing happens just once and keeps you relevant. You have to do it over and over and over again, even before the results start to show up. And one thing that is even important right now for me to say is that you do not forget the things that got you to where you are. Because at this point, there are several people in this hall, and we're all in different levels, right? And one of the things that stop people from making progress most times is money. Do you hear me? The money that we are all looking for is a factor that is capable of holding you to the ground. Money. The way you were hungry, the way you were chasing after the things you wanted to do, you find out that it has started reducing when money started coming in. Comfort. You're becoming comfortable. You're feeling okay. You can go to Chicken Republic once a week now. You're fine. You feel okay. Why? Money has come. Your drive is not there anymore. Your passion, the way you were pushing before, the way you were watching videos on YouTube, you have stopped. Why? Because you know that at the end of the month you will get a salary, or you people are registering for a course and things like that. You're making money, and because of that you're not growing yourself. The things that you did that got you to that point of making money, if you forget them, you will soon go back. Never forget the things that brought you to where you are. Why can't I stop going ahead to watch as many YouTube videos as I can on the topics I'm interested in? I know how I got here. I will not deceive myself. I didn't get here by wishful thinking. The place I'm going to, I will not get there by wishful thinking. I have to commit myself to learning. I have to commit myself to service. I have to commit myself to being the best version of excellence that I can afford. I have to get certifications. I have to invest. Why? Those are the things that got me to where I am right now. I won't forget them. Because I am having little rewards right now? No. What are these things compared to? Remember what I said about where you're going? What are the things I have now compared to where I'm going? What are they? Will I watch this video that's been recorded 2 years down and still be at this level? No. Why? Because I have not stopped. Not because I'm wishing it. Because I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to say because I've spoken on the Winning Mindset platform, that means I have arrived what? No. So when money starts coming in, do not let the thing you are looking for be the things that limits you. The thing you are looking for at a time, do not let it become the thing that furthermore limits you. Don't cooperate with delay. That's one of the things I keep saying over and over again. You are stagnant because you're cooperating. There's a cooperation you're having. Cut those things up. What was I talking about? Consistency, right? Stay consistent. Do things over and over and over again. That is how you get to a point of relevance, of staying relevant. The last point I'll talk about. Okay, time is up already. So let me just talk about this last point and then I'll conclude. Have you gotten value so far? Awesome. Last point, conditions. Write it down, conditions. Under conditions, write three things: environments, laws, principles. Environments, laws, principles. No matter how healthy a maize seed is, if it's in the wrong condition, it can never germinate. I was taught about the triangle of fire when I was doing my HSC program, my health, safety and environment program. And it taught us that for fire to start, there are three things that must be in place. Three of them. The first one is heat. The second one is oxygen. The third one is fuel. Heat, oxygen, fuel. If these three things are not together, fire cannot start. If there's just oxygen here, can fire start? If there is heat, no matter how hot a place is, if it's only heat, fire will never start. That's why fire can be burning, and if you take out oxygen, it will go off. If there's only fuel, no matter how heavy the fuel is, and there's no heat, there's fuel in a very cold environment, fire will not start. And by fuel, I don't mean just the petrol we are used to. Fuel is anything that can burn. That's the definition of fuel. Fuel is anything that is capable of being combustible, of burning. Paper can be fuel. Clothes can be fuel. If there is no presence of a fuel, fire cannot start. It's called the triangle of fire. Heat, what again? Oxygen, what's the last one? Fuel. These are three factors that must come together for fire to start. Those are the conditions for fire. Even if you have two, if you have fuel and heat, that's why fire can be stopped by pouring sand or powder, because sand takes away oxygen. So there is fuel already. Fuel is combustible substance, right? There's clothes burning. There's fuel. There is heat there. And you see that fire is already starting up. But then you stop oxygen. What happens? Fire goes. These are conditions. Conditions for fire to start. The same way, if you do not have the right conditions for winning, no matter what you do, and this is the frustrating part, because there are several people that it's not like they're not working hard. It's not like you're not doing anything. But you've not yet identified the conditions that need to be in place. In fact, you may even have two. But the last one you need, it may just be mentorship. It may just be service. It may just be a relationship. It may just be one more thing. If you don't have that one more thing, the fire does not care about your emotion, doesn't care about how you feel. I have tried now, I have fire and heat now. No, it will not start. Until the conditions are appropriate for your winning, your efforts are almost useless. So, conditions. What did I say about conditions? Three things. The first one is what? Environment. Second one. Third one. The right environment. And your environment starts from, it doesn't start from your location, it starts from your mental environment. Your mind, your mental environment. How are you taking care of your mental environment? Because your locational environment, things can be done. Let me give you an example. There are people that are in places that are supposed to be terrible, but they are okay. They are fine. In conditions of rain, some people can be inside a car, right? If it's raining, someone can be inside a car, true of us. But can the person go out of his mind? Can you leave your mind? Your mind follows you to anywhere you're going. If you take care of all your environment and your mental environment is left uncared for, everything will come back to the level of that your mental environment. How do you take care of your mental environment? The books you read, the people you listen to, The things you see. There are things called gateways to the mind. I'll end now. Gateways to the mind. What you can see, what you can hear, what you can feel, the things you expose yourself to. You can condition yourself. You can tell yourself that for the next 3 months, although me and my friends have been watching this type of things, I am deciding today that when I go to YouTube, if you want to see someone's lifestyle, just go to youtube.com on the person's phone. Why? Because YouTube will recommend what? Something that looks like what you've been watching. So you see a song by Davido, you see a song by this one. That's all they are recommending to you. Why? That's all you watch there. No course. Not open my YouTube. They'll either be recommending a digital marketing video, something on social media analytics. Precious is laughing. I don't know why. Something on social media analytics. She knows these things because those are the things we are watching. Now that says someone should open his YouTube now. Let's check, but let's not go that far. Because this is how you condition your environment. What you expose the gateways of your mind to, your eyes, your ears, your mental environment. That's the first environment to condition. Then that environment will spur you to think about your other environments. Location, people are environments. Guys, you know that. Have you noticed that somebody will just come around you and suddenly you are happy? And then another person comes around you and you are just comfortable. It's an environment. Some people come around you and there's suddenly depression. You're just sad. Why? Because for the next 1 hour, people will talk about this problem to that problem. People come around you and you're suddenly motivated to work. People are environments. So people is a kind of environment that you need to work on too. Environment. These are conditions. I'm telling you the conditions that have to be in place. Your mental environment. The people around you, that's also an environment. Then your location is an environment. Your current location, where you are currently situated, that is an environment. You must make sure the location that supports your growth. It must be a location that supports your growth. I won't be able to talk about laws and principles right now. But laws and principles are also conditions. They are conditions that if you can handle, they're able to help you win. Conditions, laws and principles. Sowing and reaping. I believe in that law. So that's why I can do things, and even if I'm not seeing the results immediately, I am still doing it. I got a call from Lagos last week, and it's for an opportunity that if I had not done something last year, this is the bad thing, right? Some opportunities are dependent on what you did before. So if you don't do something today, you're automatically disqualifying yourself for an opportunity tomorrow. Automatically. So you see an application that comes up and says, oh, we need businesses that have been registered in 2 years. You had the money 2 years ago. You refuse to register your business. What have you done? You have disqualified yourself. Oh, we need someone that has been in this thing for the last 1 year. Did you start last year? No, you said let me start in 2022. I like even numbers. 2022. And when the opportunity comes, you are not able to take charge of it. Why? Because you disqualified yourself. It's not your village people. They're innocent. There are some things that if you don't do today, you will disqualify yourself for some opportunities tomorrow. Believe me, this happens every day. Every day. I want to recommend people for things and say, oh, can I see some things he has done before? And be like, so do you have anything you've done before? I've just been learning. No. While you're learning, you can do. In fact, doing is a form of learning. Have things that people can see. Almost everybody that will reward you the way you wants to see what you've done before. What was I talking about? Laws and principles. And I was talking about sowing and reaping. That means if you sow something today, there is a law that makes it possible for you to reap it in the future. There's a law of giving and receiving. These are laws. You can identify the laws and principles that guide and that guard life and engage them. Conditions. So why are things working for? No. He has engaged conditions. He has taken these conditions, he has put them around, he has engaged them one by one, so he has set them up. It's called setting yourself up for success. So success is easy. Why? Because these things have been put together. They've come together to become real results. Very important. All right, so I'll just end here. Now, thank you. Now, there's something I always say at the end of all my sessions, and I'll say it here again. Growth will cost you, but not growing will cost you more. Growth will cost you, but not growing will cost you more, I assure you. 5 years from now, the cost of growth will be more. If you're a young person here, when you're married with kids in 5 years, the freedom that you have now to grow, at that time you won't have it anymore. In fact, literally, because the cost is more than money, but literally, even money, the value is changing. The things you could have gotten with an amount before. The first time I did a Facebook course, 50 pounds was around 20 something thousand. Last time I did it was 30k straight. 50 pounds. Why? Because even money itself, the value is changing. So the cost of growth is going to be more in future. When people ask you why is it that you're there? Sometimes people don't even need to ask you. You ask yourself, why couldn't you get to that point where you needed to be? You refuse to grow. Growth will cost you, but not growing will cost you more. So please decide to grow. Thank you so much. The last point is that excellence is a compound effect. What that means is, if you're excellent in one aspect of your life and you refuse to do everything possible to be excellent in another, you will continually get dragged down to the level of that place that you refuse to invest in. Excellence is a compound effect. It has to do with several things. There's no one thing that is able to, life what it should be. Every life you see that you admire, every life you see that is moving forward, every life you see that is commanding certain level of results, any life like that is a life that has been able to bring together factors, that has been able to bring together the several things necessary to produce that result that you admire. It's not just one thing. So if you're excellent in one aspect of your life, you have to think, what are the aspects, what are the things that I need to add in these other places so that I can have the compound effect of excellence? So I can have the compound effect, the thing that makes everything work for me. There are decisions for you to make.